Hi everyone and welcome to Art is for Everyone. So today I'm going to tell you about gravity painting. I just call it gravity painting because I really don't know what else to call it, but it's a real simple procedure. And all you need is some string, some cups, and some paper or something to paint on. So first thing I'm going to do is poke a hole in the cup. Okay, so I'm just using this soldering iron. It's battery operated, and I'm going to poke a hole in the cup at the very top. Okay, my batteries are a little bit low, so it's not going as quickly, not burning as quickly as usual. Then I'm going to poke a hole in the opposite bottom, and that's where the paint's going to come out. So you want to make sure that the hole is big enough for the paint to come out, but not ginormous, because you don't want ginormous big blobbers of paint. Okay? All right, so that is that. And I'm going to turn this off so I don't burn everything down. I'll just set this over here. And then we're going to take our string and tie it to the top hole. Tie it, put it through the top hole, and we're going to tie it so that it doesn't fall off. Now I'm going to suggest that you have your area good and covered, because this can be really messy. Because what people are going to do is we're going to put the paint in, and then we're going to spin the cup around and move it in lots of different directions, and the paint will come out. And so people can get really kind of crazy with it. So I suggest wearing old clothes and have your area covered. Okay, now this is a great activity for someone who even can't see, because the end result is going to be a raised painting that they can feel. They can feel the raised painting, and it's kind of neat feeling when the paint is coming out. They can rest their hand, and an alternative to this, you could put elastic at the top, and that gets really bouncy and fun. So this is a great activity for people with visual impairments. Okay, it's a great sensory activity. So let's start out with the basic idea of gravity painting. Now I'm in a Christmassy kind of mood, so I picked Christmas colors: red, green, and gold. So here's just some red paper. Now you can do this on any kind of thing. You can do it on wood. You can do it on actual canvas. And it's great if you live somewhere where people might have visual impairments. You could hang the actual paintings on the wall, and then they could feel it, because it's really cool once it dries. So let's start out. I'm going to get some paints. Let's start out with green, red, and gold. So I'm going to start out with just green. So I'm going to pour some paint in here, and I'm going to hold the cup cockeyed so that the paint doesn't automatically run out the top. So I'm going to put some paint in. All right, set this over here, and then I'm going to hold it by the string. Nope, I don't think I put enough paint. All right, there's a good bit. I'm going to hold it by the string, and the paint will start to come out the hole, and you can see it kind of dripping out. And I'm going to put it down here and start swinging. And I think I'm going to go back and forth, and this way back and forth. And then you can jiggle it and get squirrelies and swirlies and blobbers. And you can actually also touch the cup and bounce it off the paper. Now, let's say you wanted to do a Christmas themed something. You could cut out a Christmas tree and decorate it like this, and that would be a nice Christmas tree painting. So there's my green on red, and let's do gold next. Okay, so I'm going to open up my gold, put my gold in. Right, and this, I think I'll go around in circles. So it's starting to come out now. I'm going to do small circles. And I'm going to go all the way around. And you can see People might like to get big swirls, right? Small, and I'm going to end that there. I'm just going to lay that there. And let's do one more. We'll do red. See what happens. Now, I think my red, I'm going to try and do some blobbers. So we'll see what happens with red. Because the red paper, so we'll do red blobbers. I'm going to shake it. Blobbers is a technical term. Yeah, right. All right. So these will be nice big dots for people to feel. There. All right. And we'll put this off to the side. And as you can see, this is what I ended up with. Once it's dry, you can see there'll be nice raised blobbers and lines and stuff for people to feel. And now if this was on actual canvas or wood or something, it would be very suitable for framing. It would be a nice Christmas present, maybe picture, maybe put some garland like around it or something. You could cut this in a wreath shape and do this type of painting on wreaths or whatever. It's the possibilities are endless. And now let's talk about something else. We can do greeting cards, okay? So this is just cardstock, and you can get cardstock in any color. This is just plain white cardstock. So for people who might want to send staff or other people greeting cards, okay, this would I have a lot of people who like to send Valentine's cards, so this would be great in like pink and purple. But let's say we wanted to do a greeting card. We could draw a simple shape on here, okay, like, so let's say I'm gonna do a greeting card with a Christmas tree. So I'm not an artist, so I am just gonna try to draw a Christmas tree, and I'm gonna draw it on my greeting card here, and I'm gonna put this other card here, and let's start with green again. Now, you can also, let's do this. You can also put 2 holes in the bottom or 3 holes or however many you want and try and do 2 colors at once. So let's do that. Let's do green and red at the same time on our cards. So I'm going to put green on this side, and I'm going to put red on this side. And let's see what happens. The colors are come out green, red, and mix. And I'm going to do both cards at one time because I can. And we're getting a nice mix of red and green. And again, this is really nice and raised up. Let's do some blobbers. I remember doing this kind of thing, writing with 2 pencils when I got in trouble as a kid and had to write sentences. I would put 2 pencils together to make it easier to write the 100 sentences I have to do. All right. And let's do a little bit more gold on there. Okay, so let's put some gold. I still have some gold here. Well, maybe not enough. Here it comes. And I'm going to do swirlies around the edges so that it's nice and it almost frames it in gold. All right, and we'll just keep going over here. And if you use cardstock, you can actually buy envelopes like at Walmart that would fit the cardstock folded in half. So if they want to send it, they can send it too. All right, so this is kind of what we ended up with. A nice, tactilely pleasing when they feel it. Now you want this stuff to dry overnight because you don't want any chance of people smearing. Now you can do things like use toothpicks or Q-tips to smear the painting and make it look even a little more different, and have a little more different tactile sensation. So just use your imagination. Now, for people with visual impairments, I like to do high contrast. Okay, so we're going to do a gold one in high contrast, all right? So I got black paper, and we're going to use more of our gold painting. Now, I find for people with visual impairments, we don't want too many different colors because it's sort of hard to process, especially if you're working with people with a cognitive decline, such as the elderly, or people with IDD, intellectual and developmental disabilities. So we don't want it to be overstimulating and too confusing. So for this one, I'm just going to do more gold on black. And that will be a high contrast, easy for people to see. Now, if you're using a canvas, just paint the canvas black first, or whatever color you want. And I'm going to start with my gold. And yeah, we can see that going. And I'm just going to swing. Circle. Now you can experiment with the sizes of the holes and make it come out thicker lines, thinner lines. I had one gentleman do this in Cubs colors, and I thought they really turned out well. I really like those. All right, I'm going to blobber some. Blobber, blobber, blobber. Now, something that we can do. Ooh, that was a good big fat blobber. Something that we can do to change the texture of this is add, oh, come on, stop, all right, come on, add some texture by adding glitter and salt. Now, the thing is, I don't want to cover the whole thing. Well, I might want to, but a lot of times I don't want to cover the whole painting in salt or glitter, because then they don't get the smoothness of the regular paint. So they can feel and follow the lines with the regular paint, and then all of a sudden they come up to something bumpy. It's like, ooh, that's something different. And then they go back to smooth. And for the visual cues, the glitter sort of makes it a little sparkly. So that's kind of neat. Now, for people with visual impairments, I usually use a glitter of a different color on the paint, but you can use the same color. But here I have a copper glitter. So I'm going to cover some of this in copper, and salt has a smaller feel than the copper does. So it gives you a different tactile sensation. So I'm going to salt some of it. I'm going to salt this part here, and I just pour it on, and that's not going to change the color of the glitter, okay? The color of the glitter, the color of the paint. And now I'm going to glitter this side, just because I can. And I'll leave, all right, I'm going to leave the, this part of it all smooth. And the last one I was going to point out is, if you have actual canvas, you know how they have those pictures that hang up and they're a little bit apart, but they are all part of the same picture, but they're spaced apart. So you might want to get like 4 different canvases, okay? I'm just using green paper because I can. And you put them spaced apart so that there's a blank inside. And then when you do, I'm just going to get a new cup. When you do the paint, they will all look like they're connected. Now, I got green paper, so I'm going to use red paint just because that seems like the thing to do. And then I'm going to go over the whole thing. So I want big swings. And it'll look like one of those paintings that were painted together. And this is going to get your table a little bit messy. But that's okay. Messy's fun. I personally like globbers and polka dots. And I'm not sure why I like globbers and polka dots. That's just me. I'm just weird that way. Put a bunch of polka dots on here. Oh yeah, this would be kind of really cool for tactile sensation. My arm's getting tired, so I'm going to do this. And I'm going to swing a little bit more. Let's go around in circles. Alright. And you know what? I'm going to throw some glitter on here just because I can. Alright. So there's that. And let's put some glitter. Copper glitter on red is looking like it might be kind of neat. And this I'm going to mostly do the whole thing. Alright. And then if you can see, that's how it would be hung up, just like that. And it would have a nice tactile sensation. Now you can spray glue on the canvas first, put a sparkly glitter down, and then do your painting over it. So then in the blank spots, they would have glitter or salt and could feel the tactile sensations of the glitter and salt, and then all of a sudden there's a raised line, and let's follow this line, and there's a bump. So there's all kinds of cool things, adaptations you can do with this gravity painting. So with that, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you make use of this and have a wonderful day and stay safe.